I am going to help you identify your mistakes and also fix your answers on the spot. Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. Wherever you are joining us from, welcome to today's live. Most of you are stuck at band six, and it's not because of your vocabulary, it's because your answers are too short. So, this is what we are fixing today. Welcome. Hi, Cam. Hi, darling. Hi, Simple. Hi, Zribi. Welcome, welcome. Come on right in. We will give you a few seconds to come in. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Wafa, and I'm an English professor in Canada. I help students go from band six to band seven or eight on their IELTS speaking exam. And I have over 10 years experience doing this. Hi, Simple. Welcome. So today we are practicing for the IELTS speaking exam. So to get the ball rolling, I want you to tell me, where are you chatting from? I want to hear from you. Tell me your name and where are you chatting from? Let's hear from you. Hi, Burak. Welcome. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Underline. From Montreal. Hello, Hassan from Montreal. Welcome. Thank you for joining today's live. Panama. Very nice. How's the weather in Panama? Simple. I'm assuming it's hot. Is it hot? Walaikum assalam. Welcome, Leila. It must be hot in Panama. I'm from Brampton. Nice. Not so far from me. I live in Toronto. So not so far, Layla. Welcome. Summer, but sometimes it rains a little. Nice. Well, you're lucky. At least it doesn't snow, because we got really bad snow this year in Canada. So, welcome everyone. I wanted to start the session because if you are preparing for your IELTS speaking exam, type me in the chat, ME. If you are preparing for IELTS speaking, type ME in the chat, me. Ooh, Vietnam. Oh my God, I'd love to visit Vietnam. Welcome, Nicholas. I heard Vietnam is beautiful. The nicest beaches are in Vietnam. Who is preparing Thailand? Oh my God, I'd love to visit Thailand one day. I've heard so much about it. Welcome. So I'm curious, who is preparing for their IELTS speaking exam? Or are you just learning English? I'm curious. Are you just here because you want to learn everyday English, or are you preparing for your IELTS speaking exam? I'm here to prepare for IELTS. Welcome, Nicholas. I think this is your first time in the live. I don't think I recognize your name, so I'm so glad you found our live. Hi, Syed. Great. You're also preparing for IELTS. Simple says, I'm just learning English. Well, all is welcome here, because today the technique I'm going to teach you is could be used for everyday English, especially for like job interviews or just everyday conversation. So I'm going to teach you a technique that's going to help you both for IELTS or for everyday English. So I want you to pay close attention to what I talk about today, because it's going to help you either way, okay? So please stay with us, and also share this live so other people could learn as well. Please share my live with your friends and family so we can all learn together. So what I wanted to say is, for a band 6 in IELTS speaking, if the examiner were to ask you, do you like your hometown? Do you like your hometown? So this is a typical question you may be asked on IELTS speaking. So how would you answer this question? So everyone told me where they're chatting from: Thailand, Vietnam. Someone said Montreal. Tell me, do you like your hometown, where you are chatting from? Because I want to, and don't just say yes or no. Give me a full sentence, because I want to fix your answers live and help you extend your answer. So, Nicholas, I really like my hometown. That's a great answer. Can you tell us why you like your hometown? Because there are a lot of beaches. I like the weather. Why do you like your hometown? Because that answer is too short. We want to make it, that would be considered a typical band 6 answer, because it's too short, right? Even though you answered. So let's make it a band 7 answer, Nicholas. I want you to tell me why you find your home, or why you like your hometown, I should say. Hi, Zara. Good morning. Welcome. I'm good. So good to see you on today's live. I'm starting to recognize some names, so I'm happy to see you all. So I want to show you. Hi, Floor. Welcome. I like my hometown because my parents live there. I like that, Hasna. Great answer. So this would still be considered a band 6 response. So, Hasna, I'm going to turn your band 6 response to a band 7 just by adding one more sentence to it, to still explain why I like my hometown. So you could say something like, I like my hometown because my parents live there and it's very convenient for me. For example, give an example. For example, every time I have an emergency, my parents help me with my children. So literally, you did not use bigger vocabulary words. You did not use different grammar rules. You literally just fixed your own answer and made it a band 7 answer. So let's see another one. Walaikum assalam, Seema. Ooh, Montreal, Canada. Welcome, Floor. The weather is nice. Okay, Nicholas. So still that response would be a band 7 response, a band 6 response, sorry. I like my hometown because the weather is nice. So let's tweak it a little and make it a band 7 answer. I like my hometown because the weather is nice. For example, we have beautiful beaches, so I always go for picnics with my family. Just an example, right? So as you see here, I did not even change up the vocabulary. I used your own words and turned your own sentences to a band 7 answer. So don't stay quiet. Please send me another answer and don't just watch. I really want to fix your answer in the chat. 56 people are watching. So don't stay quiet. I want to hear from you and I want you to try answering this question. Okay, let me read more. Seema says, okay, Nicholas, the weather is nice and we have a lot of good food there. Yes, and then give an example. For example, like I said about the beach, Seema says, I like my hometown because I have too many huge memories there. Yes. So, Seema, you could say something like, I like my hometown because I have a lot of childhood memories there. For example, I spent the first 20 years of my life in my hometown. Excuse me. So you extended your answer. So let's read a few more. Fafa says, I like my hometown because all my family is there. I don't feel alone. That's nice. Fafa, I like that answer. I like my hometown because my entire family lives there and I don't feel alone. For example, my 2 uncles, my 2 aunts, and all my cousins live there. Layla says, I like my hometown. Oops, Layla. Because it is the second natural, beautiful city of the world. I like that, Layla. I like my hometown because it is known to be the most beautiful city in the world for its nature. For example, we have the best beaches. We have the best. What is your city known for? Give the example. Floor says, what a band 7 sentences. So band 7 is the score that people want for their IELTS speaking test. So this is what I'm changing your band 6 answer to a band 7 answer. So do you guys see what I'm doing here? I'm really just taking your own answer and just improving it. And if you notice a pattern, the band 6 answer, they're all short, but band 7 answers are more developed and more structured. So one thing I want you to remember is you do not need big vocabulary words. You just need to expand on your ideas. And this is how I help my own students. You speak, I correct you, and you improve quickly. Fafa says, I like my hometown because I have a very nice childhood memories there. Nice, Fafa. I like my hometown because I have very vivid childhood memories there of me growing up. For example, so give an example of what childhood memories, Fafa, do you have there? I want you to tell me, for example, I used to go to the park every Sunday with my family, whatever it is. So, by the way, guys, this technique or method I'm teaching you, this is not just, this could be used not just for IELTS, but these are the same skills you need for your job interviews. So I want you to remember that. And now that we have more people in the chat, I want to go back and ask this question. Tell me about yourself. So earlier I asked, where are you from? But now I want you to tell me about yourself. And remember, when you're answering this question, this is a question that you may get on your job interview. I don't want to know. You have to keep it professional, okay? So do not tell me what you like to do for fun. That's not what I am asking you. I am asking you about your job. Do you work? Do you study? Are you a homemaker? Are you a stay-at-home mom? What are you? So when you get this job, when you get this question on a job interview or your IELTS speaking test, this is what the examiner is asking you. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to try to answer this question. My name is Shema and I am a homemaker. I like that, Shema. So can we try to extend your answer? So I am a homemaker. So I want you to use something called the P. So no, not the PPF method. I think for this question, the ARE method. So you're answering the question. My name is Shema and I am a homemaker. Give a reason. Because I like staying at home and taking care of my family. So you're giving a reason. Why are you a homemaker? Why do you prefer to be a homemaker? Because I love to cook for my family every day. Why? And then give an example, Shema. If you cook every day for your family, for example, my children love eating my rice every day, or they love when they come home and I have food for them prepared on the table. Something like this. Nice. Fafa says, for the question before, I used to hang out with my mom and my sisters going to the beach together. Nice, Fafa. Great answer. So I am going to type Shema's answer to make it a band 7 response. So right now, Shema says, my name is Shema and I am a homemaker. This would be considered as a band 6 response. So we want to make it a band 7 answer using a method that I teach in my English Speaking Confidence Club. I want you to pay attention very carefully, because I'm going to take her answer and make it into a band 6 answer in the most easiest way, not using big vocabulary words. So we are going to use something called the ARE method. ARE method stands for answer, reason, example. So answer means answer the question directly, give a reason, and then provide an example. So let's break down Shema's answer. My name is Shema and I am a homemaker, right? My name is Shema and I am a homemaker. Why are you a homemaker? Why do you prefer to be a homemaker? Because I enjoy cooking for my family. And then we are going to give an example. What maybe we could talk about what she cooks for her family, right? Or what her family enjoys about her being home to cook for her family. For example, I always make sure I cook lunch before my children come home from school. So literally, I took Shema's answer and I extended it. She said, "My name is Shema and I am a homemaker." All I said is give a reason because I enjoy cooking for my family. For example, I always make sure I cook lunch before my children come home from school. So tell me, is there any big vocabulary words here? No. This is why I always tell my students you do not need to use big vocabulary words on your IELTS speaking exam. All you need to do is use a structure, use a format like the ARE method to help you score band 7. If you like what I am teaching today and you want to speak confidently and break down your ideas confidently, comment IELTS below and I will send you a message afterwards. I have an English speaking conference club where I help you myself. I teach you just like I'm doing right now. Comment IELTS and I will send you a message afterwards because I really want to help you all. So let me see what people are saying in the chat. Hello, everyone over on YouTube. If you're wondering where I'm reading the comments, I have a lot of people on TikTok watching, so I am reading their comments. So please, YouTube and Facebook users, feel free to write your answer and I will message you afterwards. Okay, Shema and Soft, I will send you a message after today's live. So guys, I want to hear from you. I'm Hasna. Okay, Hasna says, let's try to help Hasna. I am Hasna and I am a student because I want to have a good degree to get a good job. That's a great answer, Hasna. So I am Hasna and I am currently studying or I'm currently obtaining my degree because I want to get a good job. What kind of job do you want? Or tell us what you are studying. For example, I want to become a nurse. For example, I want to work as I don't know, engineer. What do you want to do? Hi, Iftihad. So nice to see you after so long. Welcome all the way from Libya. Yabun, my hometown is famous for its traditional architecture and historical landmarks. I like that, Yabun. Can you did you write another? I want to introduce my hometown. Okay. Give us an example of what type of traditional architecture there is or historical landmarks. Can you say something like, for example, we have one of the oldest mosques or oldest churches. What could you say that's very historical there? Hi, Bilan. Hasna. Hi. I want to be a technologist, biomedical in the future. I like that. So you could say, for example, I really want to be a biomedical technologist in the future. Hi, Zara. Welcome to today's live. I like that. Walking around the city feels like stepping back in time. Hi, Bilan. Welcome, welcome. Yes, if you want to join my class, I offer an English speaking confidence club where I help you fix your answers live like this. If you are interested, type IELTS and I will send you a message afterwards. And if, in case you're wondering who I am an English professor from Canada, and I've been helping students prepare for their IELTS speaking exam for the past 10 years. And today we are fixing your responses live. So if you want to make an effort to type this question that I am asking is tell me about yourself. So let me just pull it up again because it seems like it didn't. Tell me about yourself. How would you answer this question? Oh, Shema, okay, have a great day. We actually have our first class tomorrow. If you are interested in joining, make sure you sign up to the English Speaking Confidence Club by today because we have our next class tomorrow at 11 a.m., but this is a paid program. So you could message me and I will message you right away. Thank you for joining, Shema. So I want you, earlier I taught you the ARE method. Tell me about yourself, answer, reason, example. So I am going to give you a few seconds or a few minutes to try to answer this question using the ARE method. I'm just going to move all of those things because I don't want people to get confused. Tell me about yourself. How would you answer this question? Guys, if you like this live, please make sure you share it with your family and friends. Share the live so we can help as many people learn English as possible. Please share my live. Thank you. So Ibtihaj says, my name is Ibtihaj and I am an English language teacher because I have a passion for helping others learn English in a supportive way. For example, I always feel excited whenever my students keep complimenting me about my classes and how supportive they are. I love that. Ibtihaj, great answer, honestly. Bang on band 7. You answered the question directly. My name is Ibtihaj. You gave and I'm an English teacher. That's the answer directly because you gave a reason and then you gave an example. See, just from following a great ARE method, your answers sound so much more clear and also so much more structured. Tell me about yourself. She speaks too much, needs to teach more. I'm actually not speaking much. I'm actually helping you guys get a turn responding to this question. Tell me about yourself. I'd already taught a mini lesson earlier, the ARE method. So now I am giving you guys time to actually use that method to answer your question. Hi, Techno, welcome. So if you see, I'm using the same structure, answer, reason, example. So whether you are learning for IELTS or job interviews, It's the same skill, the same structure you need. Hi, Techno. Are you preparing for your IELTS speaking exam? And also, guys, quick reminder, my next speaking class is tomorrow. So if you want to join, you're going to need to register by today. So if you want to join, type IELTS and I will send you a message afterwards. Hi, Syed. Welcome. Great. Thank you, Ibtihaj. Great answer. Honestly, I love that you're using that method that I taught you. Great, Techno. I will send you a message after the live today, okay? So I wanted to see, let's go to another question, okay? Let's go to another question you may get. Remember, this could be relate to job interviews or your IELTS speaking exam. So I'm going to give you a question and I want you to give me a professional answer. Do you prefer working alone or as a team? Do you prefer to work alone or as a team? I want you to try to answer this question using the ARE method. If you need help, if you need guidance, I will be here to correct your answers on the spot. So let's see what people say. Sure, Techno, just send me a message and we will have a chat. Great, Yabun. That's great. So, guys, please share my live if you are finding it useful. Share my live with others so we are able to learn together. Welcome, Alma. Welcome. So, I want to see how you would answer. Okay, Zulk says, I prefer working alone. So this is a band 6 answer. How can we make it a band 7 answer? Let's help Zulk make it a band 7 answer by answering the question. Answer, I prefer working alone. Why? Working alone. Why do you prefer working alone? We're going to say reason because, for example, because when I work alone, I am able to manage my time better. And then you give a reason. For example, you give a reason. Oh, Bertie, I'm speaking slow because I'm teaching English students. So when I speak fast, they ask me to speak slow. Example. So because I can concentrate, I like that. Because when I work alone, I can concentrate better and I'm able to manage my time. For example, I give an example. For example, I finished my project in 2 days. Just an example. For example, I finished my project in 2 days. So, guys, see what I did here to Zulki's answer is I literally took the answer. I didn't change any vocabulary words. I just extended the answer by giving a reason and an example. And this is what I help my students do every day in my English speaking confidence course. If you are interested in becoming a confident English speaker, you want to get a band 7 on your IELTS speaking exam, or you need help with your job interviews, message IELTS, type IELTS in the chat, and I will message you afterwards. Great. Fola says, okay, let's see. Hajar says, I'm flexible working alone or with a team. Okay. Can you give a reason? If I were you, Hajar, I would only choose one. It would make your life a lot easier. I like working alone because it would just make your answers sound more clear. However, that's for IELTS speaking. But for job interviews, I would say you are right. Saying a little bit of both is always good because you don't want to show them that you're not able or not competent enough to do both. Brandy says working as a team. Why? Hi, Andy. Welcome from Australia. Oh my God, I'd love to visit. Syed says, I prefer to work with a team. For me, it's very important when I work with people, I prove my skills and I know people. Okay, great answer. Can you give an example of what skills you improved, Syed, working as a team? Oh, Fola, I don't do CELPIP, dear, just IELTS. Yabun says, I'm comfortable with working alone because when I am alone, I can focus on things better. Nice. And without the boring from others, I'll be more calm and relaxed to handle stuff. Can you give an example? So as you guys see here, I'm here giving you feedback right on the spot. This is what I do in my English speaking confidence club. If you are interested and you are serious, I'm talking to serious people only who want a band 7 on your IELTS speaking. Comment IELTS and I will send you a message afterwards. Because one thing I want to tell you is watching YouTube videos all day, learning a huge list of new vocabulary words or different grammar structures is not going to help you become a better speaker. You need somebody to tell you, okay, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this right, do it like this. And that's how you will improve your English. Don't waste your time watching YouTube videos all day and suddenly you go to your exam and you wonder, like, why is my mark not getting better? Why am I stuck at a band 6? Well, guess what? This is why you are stuck at a band 6. So I am going to get a few more questions for do you like working alone or as a team before I give you another question. So, one thing I want to point out is in today's live, I'm seeing the same mistakes again and again. And this is exactly what we fix inside the IELTS speaking, the English speaking confidence club. My link is in the bio. And if it doesn't work, type IELTS in the chat and I will message you afterwards with the exact link. It is the next session is tomorrow. So if you are interested, you must sign up by today so I get a head count before tomorrow. Someone says, which is better to go for IELTS or self? I need your advice. Um, to be honest, Fola, I believe CELPIP is, I mean, not CELPIP. I believe IELTS is more reputable and known, but obviously this depends on your requirements and if you need it for work or school. You have to see which one is more required for your situation, if that makes sense. Okay, Gabun says, especially when I'm coding, if someone is talking to me, I'm unable to think about the question about my work. Yes. No worries, Fola. So, guys, welcome to those of you who are just joining. Welcome to today's live. I'm just going to quickly go over it again. Today, we are talking about why most of you are stuck at a band 6 on your IELTS speaking test. And it's not because of your vocabulary. I want to tell you it's because your answers are too short. So we are fixing your answers on the spot. And whoever is just joining now, I want you to take a minute to try to answer this question. I'm going to move the answer. No worries, Rahuf. Thank you for joining today's live. Do you prefer working alone or in a team? How would you answer this question? So, people over on Facebook and YouTube, if you're wondering where the heck is she reading all these messages, it's I'm reading it on TikTok because I'm streaming in multiple places. So, okay, Ibtihad says I prefer working alone, uh, but sometimes having a mate to get back to is important as well because I am the kind of person who needs quietness to focus, but sometimes you get confused about some stuff. Okay, this seems long, Ibtihaj. So let's fix it because you never want the IELTS speaking examiner. I've heard they do this. They say, okay, time's up because your answer is too long. So I would just say I prefer working alone because I'm the type of person who needs quiet time to focus and then give an example. Just keep it concise, clear, and that's it. If you want to say that you can do both, I prefer working alone, but I also have no problems working as a team, or I'm very flexible working alone and as a team, and then you go on to give your response. No worries, Ibtihaj. No worries, Yabun. I'm so glad you enjoy it. So there's so many people watching, and to get the crowd going, I want you to tell me, where are you chatting from? Right? There's 82 people watching on TikTok. Tell me where you are chatting from in the chat box. Switzerland. That's my number one place I've always wanted to visit. I hear it's gorgeous in Switzerland. Welcome all the way from Switzerland. Canada, welcome. I'm from Canada. Malaysia, nice. Bolivia, Malaysia, Kenya, wow. Ethiopia, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm so glad you guys are all here. USA, nice. Bolivia, I've never been there. I've never been to Malaysia, Ethiopia, Kenya. These are places I'd love to go. China, uh, Bolivia. Yes, it's so nice to meet you, Techno. I hope you could join us on more lives. Netherlands, I've been to the Netherlands. Yes, thank you, Nordic. I'll definitely let you know if I get a chance to come. Very nice. Libya, someone else says Libya. Welcome, Ibtihaj. Iran, nice to see you. Long live Iran. God bless Iran always. So this is great that you are all joining me on today's live. I just wanted to get the chat going and see if you guys are there listening or if you guys are zoned out. So I'm so glad to hear from all of you guys. I wonder how to expand on topics. So, Yabun, the best way to expand on your topics is, I think you were here the other day when I taught the PPF method as well. So let's say, let's go back to another question. Do you like sports? No, how about do you like music? Do you like music? How would you expand on this question? Because the thing is, I know some people don't listen to music. So, how would you answer this question? How would you expand on it? Okay, Fola, tell us why you like music and give us an example. Because this, yes, I like music, would be a band 6 response, right? So let's try to say, yes, I like music because when I go to the gym, it it helps me work out longer, or it helps me exercise better. For example, every time I run on the treadmill, I listen to fast music and I run very fast. Something like this. Okay. Fola says, yes, I like music because it calms my soul. I like that. So, and it makes me feel relaxed. So, can you tell me give me an example of when you feel calm? For example, every time before I go to sleep, I listen to music. What can you say? Yes, I like music because it makes me feel good and relaxed. I like that. Oud, can you give us an example? For example, when do you feel relaxed? For example, I listen to what type of music you listen to. Give an example. Geeko says, I am into music most of the time. I consider it as a way of refreshment after work. I like that. So can you give us an example? For example, I listen to I don't know, slow songs or rock songs on my way home, and I feel so energized. So, guys, see how I am correcting these answers on the spot using the same vocabulary words, not using different grammar structures. This is what I teach in my English speaking confidence club. If you are interested in becoming, if you are serious, I should say, on becoming a confident English speaker and getting a band 7 on your IELTS speaking exam, comment IELTS below and I will send you a message afterwards. I listen to music whenever I'm doing my chores. I like that, Fola. I listen to music whenever I'm doing my chores. Zook says, I do like music because it makes me feel comfortable in doing my activities. Okay, what type of activities? For example, I listen, for example, every time I clean my house, I listen to, what do you listen to? Michael Jackson? I don't know. Anything. Gecko says, I usually listen to slow music because they have the capacity to control your emotion as well. Yes. For example, I listen to Celine Dion. What could you say? Who do you listen to, or what type of slow songs? I'm glad you like this, Alex. Techno says, oh my God, my mic is right in my face. Sorry, guys, I didn't even notice. Uh, Techno says, I'm not used to listening to music and makes me feel sad. I like that, and that's totally fine, right? Give us an example. For example, every time I listen to sad songs, I remember the past, or I remember my hard times in life, something like this. So Ed says, I like listening to gospel music because it connects me with God. Nice. And you could tell us, for example, give us an example. For example, every time I listen to gospel music, I feel, you could say, I am thankful for my health. I am thankful, something like this. Give an example of how it connects you with God. And remember, guys, the format I am teaching you, this is just helping you extend your answers to make it like a band 7 response, right? This is what you need for your IELTS speaking test. So if you like how I am correcting your answers on the spot, I just wanted to point out, I'm not teaching you vocabulary words today. I'm not teaching you more grammar rules to drive you crazy and make you confused. All I am doing is helping you structure and format your answer. This is what I teach in my English speaking confidence club. If you are interested, comment IELTS and I will send you a message afterwards. Gecko, how can we apply the PPF in enriching out speaking capacity? Okay, so let's take this question, Gecko, and use the PPF method. So I can do that for you. So do you like music? So PPF method, guys, is another method I use inside my confidence club. It stands for past, present, future. So do you like music? So we're going to use the PPF method to answer this question. So listen carefully, okay? Do you like music? So I'm going to talk about the past. In the past, I used to have more time to listen to music. So I don't really have time now. But in the past, I used to have more time to listen to music. Now I'm going to talk about today. Why? Present, the present, right? But now I prefer to listen to podcasts. So I will say in the past, I used to liked I'll say I used to like to listen to music, but now I prefer to listen to podcasts because I find them more educational. And then the future. What can we say about the future? Future. Let's say, uh, I'll say in the future, my preference of listening to music might change again. So look what I did here. I took the PPF method, PPF judge, not TPR, PPF, past, present, future, and I came up with a whole answer to talk to the examiner. So I don't like music, okay? So I say I'm not just gonna say, oh, I don't like music. I don't listen to music. This is gonna get me a band 6. Instead, I'm gonna extend my answer by saying in the past, I used to like to listen to music, but now I prefer to listen. What am I doing today? Now I prefer to listen to podcasts because I find them more educational. And then we talk about the future. In the future, my preference of listening to music might change again. We literally took a band 6 answer and turned it into a band 7 answer just by using the past, present, future method. And if you like what I did here, guys, this is what I do in my English speaking confidence club. If you are interested in joining, if you want to be a confident English speaker and you are serious, I only want to help serious people. Comment IELTS and I will send you a message afterwards. So let me see. Yabun says, yes, I like music very much, especially like music after work because it helps me relax my emotions. I like that, Yabun. So could you tell me, for example, I go for walks and I listen to some artist name. You could tell us the artist name, anything like that. Poppy says, I love listening to music. I listen to any genre depending on my mood that day. Great. Give us an example. Techno says, I love music for exercising and dancing. Nice. So can you tell us, for example, I do Zumba. What type of dancing do you do when you listen to music? So who was it that asked me about the PPF method? Gecko, I hope it helped you and how I broke it down for this question. Guys, if you like this live, please share it with others. I see 100 people watching. Please share this live with others so we can help as many people as possible become confident English speakers. Please share today's live. So I want to hear how you would answer this question. Nordic, like which background? Can you tell me? Like my word background? Is it the document I'm typing in? Actually, I'm new to TikTok, guys. So uh, let's, the document, I don't even know how to change it. So I will look into that. I have to ask my husband because I'm not sure. I will change it for the next one. Thank you for that feedback, Nordic. I'll try to figure out how to change it. Yeah, it's Word. So Abdu says, I like listening to music every day without understanding the lyrics, without understanding the meaning of music. So instead of saying without understanding the meaning of music, you could say without understanding the lyrics. Darken the background. Okay, I will try to figure that out, guys, before the next live. That's good that you told me that. I just don't know how to do it. So I got to look into it. Thank you, Lava Gals. Thank you, Nordic. Yes, for next time, for sure. So let's see. Let's see if anyone else is going to try to give us an answer for this question. So I use the PPF method here to answer this question. Yes, Gecko, you could send me a message and we can talk in the private messages, okay? A, L, T, G, and P. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I'll save it for the next live for sure. But thank you for mentioning that, because I do see other creators have darker backgrounds. So I'll try to fix it for the next one. So let's use the ARE method. So I'm teaching you 2 methods today that are going to help you. PPF for any question. I would say use the PPF method if you don't know how to answer the question. Use the PPF method, past, present, future, if you do not know how to answer the question. And you could use the ARE method if the question relates to you and you know the answer and how to answer. You could use the ARE method, which is another method earlier that I taught. You answer the question, do you like music? Yes, I like music. Why? You give a reason. Why? Because, so this is what I was helping you guys do earlier, because it makes me, it improves my mood. And then example, give an example, right? Because it improves my mood. For example, every time I go to the gym, I listen to, what could you say? I listen to a fast, a techno, you could, I don't know. I don't know the genre names, guys. You guys got to help me here. ARE means answer, reason, example. So you could say, for example, every time I go to the gym, I listen to rock rock music, even though I don't. I listen to rock music and it helps me run on the treadmill. It helps me run longer. I would say helps me run longer on the treadmill. So ARE, answer, reason, example. I answered the question directly, gave a reason, and then I gave a solid example. So this is what I teach in my English speaking confidence club, guys. If you are interested in becoming a confident speaker and you're serious, I really want to help you. I give you feedback like this. Comment IELTS below, and I will send you a message after today's live. So let me read more. ARE meaning. Jihan says, I used to listen to music because I thought was calming me down, but now I realize it was making me hyper. So nowadays I listen to the Quran to relax. I like that. I like that. And you could even extend the answer by saying, for example, I'm able, give an example of what you noticed really helped you calm when you listen to the Quran. For example, I'm able to focus better. I'm able to sleep better. I'm able to feel more at peace. Marden says, I like music because teaching my English gives me my feeling happy. Okay, I like music because I am able to learn English when I translate the lyrics, for example. Lava Girl says, it depends on my mood. Valid. Is it a valid answer? It is only if you extend it, Lava Girls. I like music depending on my mood. For example, if I am feeling a certain way, I will turn on some favorite beats. But if I'm not in the mood, I don't like listening to it. Hi, Isa. Welcome. So as you notice, we are developing these band 6 short answers to more clear answers. Yes, Nordic. So I do teach other methods like this in my English speaking confidence club that I don't think I'll be teaching on the lives. But these are the types of methods I teach, easy breakdown for you to understand how to format your answer. And by the way, guys, one thing I want to mention is this is not just an IELTS lesson. These are the same skills you need for a job interview. So let's try another question. I'm going to give you another question that you may get on your job interview and even your IELTS speaking test. So what are your strengths? And guys, don't tell me my strengths are to lift 100 pounds. This is a professional question. Don't tell me that my strengths are that, I don't know, I can run fast. Use it in a professional manner, right? I don't want to know how much weights you could lift. God bless you. May you lift more weights, but the examiner doesn't want to know that. The job interviewer doesn't want to know that. So I want you to answer this question in a professional way, how would you answer it? Hi, Timu. Welcome. My strength is being a team player. I like that. I like that. Could you give us a reason why your strength is to be a team leader, a team player? I'm good, Timu. Thanks for joining. I'm just gonna update the screen because I noticed it didn't update on here. So what are your strengths? Using the ARE method, most of you have been in here. So you learned the ARE method. Try to answer this question. Guys, please share this live with others if you're finding it beneficial. I want to help as many people as possible improve their English and score that band 7 or higher for IELTS speaking or their job interview. Ed says, I am very organized. I always stay calm in an emergency situation. I like that, Ed. So can you touch up on how you stay calm? Because when there is an emergency, if you panic, things don't get done. What is the reason? Mr. Thrift, hello, Thrift. Welcome to today's live. Nordic says, everybody thought that I was strong in math, but actually that was a mere tip of the iceberg. Okay, a mere tip of the iceberg. Okay, everyone thought I was strong in math. So you're saying but my strength is in physics. Okay, so everybody thought that my strength was in mathematics, but actually I am very good at physics. Because tell us why you're good at physics. Because I enjoy the subject. Because why? Hi, Amal. Welcome. Nice to see you, dear. My strength shines in physics. So, Amal, this question here can relate to job interviews. So I want you to try to answer it. What are your strengths? How would you answer this question? Thinking logically. I like that. One of my biggest strength is to think logically because I will try. Yes, please. That's why I'm here. Walaikum assalam, Nomi, and welcome. Okay, let's try to break it down. Yabun, so what was your strength? What did you say your strength was? Because it creates a suitable environment for sharing of ideas among colleagues. I like that. I like to work as a team because it creates a comfortable environment for it creates a how can I say this? It creates a collab. You could say because it allows us to collaborate and share ideas amongst our colleagues. I have a problem in writing. I make mistakes sometimes. How can I work on it? It's practice. Honestly, when your speaking becomes better, your writing will improve. So keep practicing your speaking, and your writing will definitely improve. My strengths are I am a team player and I am punctual. I like that. Every job likes punctual people. So you could say, Amal, you could say something like, my strengths are that I am a team player and I'm always punctual. And then we're going to give an example because I think it's necessary or it's essential as a team member to show up and be on time. For example, and then you give an example. For example, every time we have a project at work, I always make sure to submit my part to my team members. So we answered the question directly. We gave a reason, right? Because it's essential to get your work done as a team member. And example. Authentically, Khalid says, my strength is that I am creative and open minded. Nice. My strength is that I am a very creative person and I'm open minded. I am able to, so you could say, because I am able because I am able to, how could we say this? Because I am able to offer my ideas to my company. For example, tell us what type of ideas you offered them. So, guys, just as I am doing here, I am giving you feedback on the spot. This is what I do in my English speaking confidence club. If you are serious, only serious people, please. If you are serious about getting a band 7 on your IELTS speaking exam and you want to improve your English for everyday situations like job interviews, comment IELTS and or ESL, and I will message you afterwards and help you become that confident English speaker. Only serious people, guys. I really want to help you. If you like my teaching methods, how I'm teaching, and the feedback I am providing you, this is what I do in my course. Great. I'm so glad people are enjoying today's live and are my methods are resonating with them. Thank you, Amal. You're so kind. Thank you so much. So Gecko says, my strength is to express my feelings freely. Okay, nice. Uh, my strengths include expressing my emotions because or expressing my feelings. So feelings meaning your ideas. Gecko, do you mean your ideas? And Nordic says, my strength is that I am flexible and diplomatic. I avoid conflicts, which saves me time and resources. I like that. Can you give us an example of a time you avoided a conflict? And obviously, for a job interview, you don't want to make it seem like you didn't do your work, right? You want to make it seem like you saved the day type of thing, right? So you could say, for example, my coworker or my colleague did not complete their work on time. So I went ahead and I finished his part for him. My strength is to express my ideas freely. Thank you, Amal. As well, it earns me solid reputation to be a team player. I like that, Nordic. I like your answer. Like I said, make sure that if you say you like to avoid conflict, you never make it seem like you're avoiding, you're ignoring what's being done. Make it seem like, especially in a job interview, that I'm the hero. Somebody didn't do their work, but I fixed it for them. Does that make sense? Yes, Nordic has a great answer, a very good answer. Like I said, just that one tweak to main idea. Thank you for sharing the live. Let's see. Timo says, I understand English, but it's hard for me to speak it. Yes, you need a structure, Timo. You need a teacher who helps you. If you are interested in becoming a confident English speaker, comment IELTS and I will send you a message afterwards. I got a band score of 5.5. How to improve IELTS score is practice different methods, Hendra. You need a structure. You need a method. You can't just watch YouTube videos all day to improve your English. You need somebody to help you, tell you, okay, Hendra, do this. You're doing this wrong. You're answering like this. You need feedback. Oh, thank you, Nordic. Thank you for your feedback, and thank you for participating. Thank you, Gecko. Anyone who typed IELTS, I'll send you guys a message after the live. So this is such a typical, I'm going to change up the question a little and make it a little tricky. Because in a work setting, you never want to sound like you're not competent enough or you're not good enough. And the funny thing is, you do get asked this question in job interviews. So how would you answer this question? Oh, I got to change it again. Hold on. What are your weaknesses? I'm going to add so we talked about what are your strengths. Now let's talk about what are your weaknesses. Yes, it's a very tough answer, guys. It's a tricky one. That's why I want to help you on it. Handra, main problem. So listening and speaking come hand in hand. Handra, even I teach at a college, the class is combined, listening and speaking. So you have to do a little bit of both and you will improve in both. Danielle, my major weakness is being a procrastinator. Ooh. And honestly, like I said, in a job interview, okay, we have some good ones. I'm going to try to help you guys fix it because I'm going to give you guys a tip in a job interview. You never want to make it seem like like you can't do the job, right? So this is a tricky question. So let me help. Oh yeah, boo, don't tell the employer that. Okay, let me see. Danielle, so your answer is I am straightforward. So how you would answer that is, don't ever say that you're straightforward in a job interview. Rather, you say something like, we're going to answer the question directly. So one weakness I have is that I share my opinions with everybody, and then give a reason, because I feel that my opinion in a workplace should matter. And then you give a reason. For example, sorry, I gave a reason. Now you give an example. For example, there was one time an employer, once again, you make yourself seem like the hero. For example, there was one time an employee was not completing his work. So I stepped in and I helped him with his tasks. See what I did there? You answered the question. You told them your weakness, that you share your opinions with everyone, but then you switched it up and make it seem like, okay, yeah, I share my opinions, but it helped the company, if that makes sense. Gecko, my major weakness is being a procrastinator. Once again, this is a strong statement, Gecko. My biggest weakness is being a procrastinator. So if you're a biggest procrastinator, how can you turn it around to show the employer that you're controlling your procrastination? My biggest weakness is being a procrastinator, but what I do to improve this is I have a to-do list. For example, like a to-do list is like a list of tasks I need to do every day and complete from the most important to the least important. So you're telling them your biggest weakness is procrastination, but what are you doing to fix that? Amal says, one of my biggest weaknesses is that I can't say no, and I'm a perfectionist. Okay, that's a good one, Amal. So one weakness I have is that it's very difficult for me to say no to my colleagues or my coworkers. So one thing I do is I have, once again, I have a to-do list of the most important tasks, activities I need to do today. And if I don't have any time based on my calendar, I am going to tell them I am not able to complete the task. Hendra, I'm weak at everything. I would say that my weakness is that I sometimes feel nervous when presenting to a large group. Oh, I like that. So you could say, Bob, you could say my biggest weakness is that I feel nervous when I present to a large group. So one way to calm my nerves is that I practice and I record myself on my phone, right? Just say that I practice and I record myself to feel more calm and watch my mistakes. So guys, just like how I am correcting these on the spot, if you like the way I'm correcting this is what I do in my English speaking confidence club. If you are serious about learning English, comment IELTS and I will send you a message afterwards. Let me continue. Nordic says, my indefinite weakness is being late. Doesn't matter how early I leave home. I wouldn't tell an employer that, Nordic. try to change it up. Because if you say that to an employer, like an interviewer, for the IELTS exam, it's fine. But for an interviewer, they might say, okay, well, he's going to be late every day for work. So you could say something like, my biggest weakness is being late. But if you want to say to an employer, sure, but I always make sure I leave my house 1 hour before my work starts to get to work on time. So you change it up. You're showing that, okay, I'm always late, but this is how I am fixing it. Oh, in Germany, we should not talk about our weaknesses in public. Well, this is a very common question you get asked in North America in job interviews. Sandis, it's interesting. Gecko says the other problem is that I plan to do numerous tasks simultaneously, which greatly affects my success. Okay, and if for that answer, I would say something like, and how I organize my tasks to not run into this issue is to have the most important tasks that need to be done for the day to the least important. I sometimes take too much tasks at a time. Yes. So same thing that I told above, you could say. But yes, Gecko. So if procrastination is in your personal life, don't mention it for a work environment. I enjoy my house. So Amal, the biggest thing I could recommend is honestly always turn a negative into a positive. So you said something about you're a perfectionist. So I would say something, I'm also a perfectionist. So I would say something like, my biggest weakness is that I'm a perfectionist and I always work through my lunch hour. I always sit on my desk during lunch and I work. But I noticed that if I step away and I go for a walk, I come back to my desk and I am a better worker. So I said that I'm a perfectionist, but some employers might say, "Oh, this is a problem," you know. So you turn it into a positive. My weaknesses are nervousness and lack of experience. Yes. So my biggest weaknesses are that I feel nervous. And so tell me, what is one thing you do to improve your nerves, or to not improve, to calm your nerves? Do you take deep breaths? What do you do to calm your nerves? Sometimes I take too much responsibility, but I have been learning to delegate. Yes, I like that. V says, my biggest weakness is believing in perfection, then making mistakes. I spend a lot of time to work as well. Yes. So give me an example. So great answer, guys. Just as I am fixing your answers on the spot, you see, honestly, I'm not even changing the vocabulary words. I'm not even giving you bigger vocabulary words, different grammar structures. It's your own answer. We are just fixing it, extending it. This is what I do in my English speaking confidence club. I help students like you improve their English. It is a course that I run on Zoom. If you are interested, comment IELTS below and I will send you the link afterwards. Patricia says, my weakness is sugar. Okay, so that's a personal weakness you have. What about related to the professional environment, like for a work purposes? Yabun says, my biggest weakness is that most of the time I don't feel confident about myself. Okay. And what can you say? For example, I'm shy to share my ideas. What is it? Guys, if you like this live, please share it with your family and friends so we can all learn English together. Art crafts, the best way to learn is to practice with a teacher, um, to get feedback so you know where you're making a mistake. You won't learn English just by watching YouTube videos all day. You have to practice with somebody. Wow, 106 people watching. Let's get the chat going. Tell me where you are chatting from. I know people are coming in and out. Where are you chatting from? Kenya, USA. Ethiopia, nice. Canada. Thank you, Yabun, for joining. I hope to see you again. Bye. Cameroon. Ooh, I have a lot of students from Cameroon. A lot, a lot. Most of my students are from Cameroon. Tanzania, nice. Tanzania. Is it Tanzania or Tanzania? I always wondered that. Very nice, guys. And whoever is joining us a little late, my name is Wafa, and I'm an English professor from Canada. I help students go from a band 6 to a band 7 on your IELTS speaking test, as well as for real life situations like job interviews. Thank you for your kindness and for always being willing to help. Thank you for joining Dayax. Thank you. So today we are fixing your band 6 answers and turning it into a band 7 response right on the spot. And you are stuck at a band 6 not because of your vocabulary. You don't need to know more vocabulary words. And it's also not because of grammar. Um, the reason why you are stuck is because your answers are too short. So I am going to give you a question. I gave this question earlier So you told me where you are from. So now I want you to answer this question. Do you like your hometown? Some people said Somalia, some people said Cameroon, Ethiopia. How would you answer this question? And let me double check. Do you like your hometown? I'm going to change 1 second. I got to add it again. Do you like your hometown? Do you like Indonesia? Yes, I like my hometown because it's peaceful. Ooh, can you tell me what's so peaceful about it? Are there a lot of beaches, a lot of farmland? What makes your hometown peaceful? So, guys, just as I am helping you correct your answers live, this is what I do in my English speaking confidence course. If you are interested in joining, comment IELTS and I will send you a message. They are live classes like this where I help you improve your English faster for IELTS job interviews and speaking in professional settings. Great, Susie. I will message you after. Okay, A says, I like Indonesia because it has a lot of tourist spots. Okay, can you tell us what kind? What kind of tourist spot? And guys, just a reminder, if you like this live, please share it with your family and friends so we can all learn English together. Please share this live. Do you know Bali? Of course I know Bali. Oh my God, I'd love to visit. So, Ace, you could say something like, yes, I like my home. Yes, I like Indonesia because it has a lot of tourist spots like Bali. For example, Bali is known for what is Bali known for? It's beaches, it's beach houses. What? I want you to tell me. Ooh, Amara, I like that. I really like my hometown. It's a pleasure to talk about my hometown because it's a place that helped me, molded me into who I am. Sweden, welcome, Danielle. Yes, I like my hometown because I was born there. Okay. Paraxai, can you tell me more about it? Amal, I love Montreal because it's a live city and there are many parks. Also, Montreal is known by, okay, as Sylvie, yes, I love my hometown, Indonesia, the culture and also the food. So many learn about the teamwork, okay? I love my hometown because of the culture and food. For example, what can you tell me about the culture of Indonesia? For example, Indonesians are known to be very hospitable. Indonesians help tourists a lot. What is it? Also, Montreal is known by the festivals. Montreal is known for their festivals. And then Amal, give an example. For example, Montreal holds the biggest soccer festival, or what festival is very popular? Okay, Bent, I love my hometown because the weather over there is amazing and we have Atlantic Ocean. Okay, I love my hometown because the weather is perfect, and we have beautiful views of the Atlantic Ocean. And Bent, you could say, for example, the sunrise and sunset are so beautiful, something like this. V says, I of course I do like my hometown. It is small town in outskirts known for its perfect weather. I like that. For example, can you give us an example? So, guys, just as I am correcting these answers on the spot, this is what I do in my English speaking confidence course. If you are interested in becoming a confident English speaker, getting a band 7, comment IELTS below and I will send you a message after today's live. I love my hometown because there are some historical places. People are very nice. Nice. I like that. I love my hometown because we have a lot of we are known for a lot of historical places and people are very kind. What type of historical places are you known for? I like more. The cultural identity and tradition are what I like about my hometown. I like that. So, what types of Amara? What types of traditions are known? For example, what are known? I'm born and raised in Malaysia, currently in Kuala Lumpur. Nice. What do you like about Kuala Lumpur? Okay, so there are many mosques, there are many churches, there are many synagogues. What spiritual historical places? So, guys, as you see here, I'm literally not changing the vocabulary words. I'm not giving you big grammar rules, new grammar rules. I'm just literally fixing your own answer. And this is why I tell people they don't need perfect English in order to get a band 7 on their IELTS speaking exam. Your answer is just too short. So if you answer with something like, yes, I like my hometown, this is a band 6 answer. But if you answer a question like, yes, I like my hometown because it's very peaceful and I've lived there my whole life, so it feels comfortable. This is what a band 7 answer sounds like. So just like I'm upgrading your answers, I'm giving you you're answering the question. We're giving you a reason and one extra detail. This is what will get you to a band 7. So send me more answers. Don't just watch. I see 70 people here. So I should see 70 answers because I want to help you. Oh, Amara. So, for example, the dance we call Namugni dance, it gathers the people. Yeah, see, the example makes it a lot better. Kuala Lumpur's vibrant food, Diverse culture, modern skyline, and lively energy. I like that. So, for example, Kuala Lumpur is known for its vibrant food and its diverse culture. Okay, that's good, Paraxai. So, we have a lot of historical sites that are known by famous, that are popular because of famous spiritual um, individuals. Thank you, Amal. I like my hometown because there is a good climate, and my grandparents always have histories for us. Woo! I like my hometowns because there is because I like my hometown because uh, we are known for nice climate, and my grandparents and I always remember my grandparents raising us there. Ooh, yes, I love my hometown Al Ula. I've never been to Al Ula. Always wanted to go there. Yes, I love my hometown Al Ula in Saudi Arabia because the weather there is nice. So, Al, what else could you say about it? For example, we have very hot days and less rain. What is it? Thank you, Parexai. Hi, Huang. So, guys, just as I am correcting your answers on the spot, this is what I do in my English speaking confidence course. If you are interested, I run a course, Zoom live online, so you are able to join. If you are interested, comment IELTS and I will send you the message after today's live. And people over on YouTube and Facebook, we are streaming from different platforms. So we have a lot of people joining us on TikTok as well. And guys, if you like this live, please share it with your family and friends. So guys, I am just going to take a 1-minute break. I'm going to turn off my camera and I will be back in literally 2 minutes. I am back. Just had to get some water. So let's see. Thank you for waiting for me, guys. Let's see what people said in the chat. I like my hometown. My city is Sizian. So can you tell us Siazazan, if I'm saying it right? Can you tell us a little bit about that place? And Timo says, I like my hometown because the views are so beautiful. And also, there are so many parks where we can play. Ooh, I like that. So, for example, what type of views are very nice there? Nordic. Oh, thank you. That's so kind of you. I'm from Azerbaijan. I enjoy your lessons. I'm glad you enjoy. So, guys, I really appreciate that you enjoy these lessons. If you do enjoy, please share my live with others. And also, if you are interested in joining a program where you get live feedback like this, you can text me, write IELTS in the chat, and I will send you a message after today's live. So A says, yes, I do like my hometown. It's the place that watched me grow up and reminds me of always coming back home. Okay, I like that. Yes, I do really like my hometown. Uh, Thank you, A. You were my first gifter too. Thank you so much. Yes, I do like my hometown because it's a place where I grew up and it always reminds me of my roots. So, this would be a good way for you to respond to the examiner. So, guys, if you are interested in joining a program that I run, comment IELTS and I will send you a message after today's live. I want to help serious students become Band 7 speakers. Thank you, A. Hi, Eliza. Welcome, welcome. So, for those who are just joining, we are talking about IELTS speaking practice live, and I'm helping you go from a band 6 to a band 7 on your IELTS speaking exam. And if you're wondering who the heck I am an English professor from Canada, and I've been teaching IELTS the past 10 years, helping students. And today I'm here to tell you that most of you are stuck at a band 6, and it's not because of your vocabulary, it's because your answers are too short. And that's what we are fixing live. So we are fixing this question. Do you like your hometown? How would you answer this question? Hi, Adrika. Welcome. Parasite, I don't do a CELPIP. I just focus on IELTS. So let me know how you would answer this question so I can help you fix it on the spot. So if you want to practice speaking and get feedback like this, the class is tomorrow. If you want to join, our next class is tomorrow. Type class if you want to join our class tomorrow. It will be a live Zoom session. Type class and I will send you a message afterwards. Great. I'm good, Adrika. How are you? Perfect. The class will be at 11 a.m. Toronto time tomorrow. Where do you live? I live in Toronto. I love my hometown because it's climate is very nice and people are very friendly. I like that. So, can you tell us, for example, why are people friendly there? And please follow me. If you're not following my page, please follow me. I'm going to stay on the live. You know what I'm going to do? I was about to get off the live, but I am going to stay on the live until I get 200 new followers. I'm at 161 now. So let's see how long it takes to get to 39 more followers. Hi, Hawa. Yes, so I am an English professor from Canada and I help students prepare for the IELTS speaking test and go from a band 6 to a band 7. Hi, Aya. Welcome. I'm great, my dear. How are you? So if you feel stuck on your IELTS speaking exam, I'm here to help you improve your English and also structure your answer. And one thing I want to know is you don't need more vocabulary words or more grammar to improve your English. You just need a better structure, a better format, so you are able to talk clearly and concisely. So how So, Hawa, I want you to chat, write your answer in the chat. So, Jamila, I was teaching the ARE method earlier, the PPF. I don't know if you were here earlier, but please go ahead and comment your answer, and I will give you feedback on your answer. Farhana says, I love my hometown because its climate is very nice and people are friendly. I like that. For example, they help you when you are in need and they never leave you stranded. So that would be a good response. Welcome, Jamila. So try to answer this question and we will fix it for you to prepare for band 7. Okay, Hawa, can you tell us why? Give us a reason why you don't like your hometown. Jamila, are you preparing for your IELTS speaking test? Nice. So practice answering this question. Do you like your hometown? Write your answer in the chat. Easy tense structure. So we are pretty much talking. This is a good, Adrika, this is a good comment you gave, because when you use the ARE method, you're pretty much talking about the past. I mean, the present usually. But with the PPF method, you will be using different tense structures, right? First, you talk about the past, and then the present, and then the future. So your tenses would change. So Hawa says, I don't like my hometown because it's quiet and it doesn't have any fun places. That's valid. I grew up in a small town too. Yeah. So can you give an example? Hawa, for example, there is only one mall. There are no malls. What is it? Thank you, Farhana. I'm glad you enjoy it. If you like this method and you are interested in taking some courses, just send me a message and I can get back to you. Guys, if you like this live, please share it with others so we can learn English together. Thank you, Farhana. Farhana, are you preparing for your IELTS exam? Thank you, Adrika. You guys are awesome. Oh my God, I thought I could stay until I'm at 200 followers. It hasn't even gone up one follower in the past 10 minutes. So I'm hoping you guys could help me get to 200 on this live. Please follow my page. I would really appreciate it, because I try to come on here, and I want you to be notified next time I come on this live. So in the chat, let me know where you are chatting from. Curious. Which country are you watching from? India, Canada, nice. Thailand, wow. What time is it in Thailand? I'm curious, Ashley. Not yet, but soon, nice. 11:20. Oh, okay. So we're like I guess almost 12 hours ahead. You guys are 12 hours ahead, I guess, because it's 12 o'clock here. So let's see. I'm going to switch the question in just a second. But I want to see if anybody else is going to answer this question. Do you like your hometown? Thank you for the share and the follow. Yes, I like my hometown. Okay. Tell us why, Aya. Why? I like my hometown. So this would be a band 6 answer. So let's turn it into a band 7. Yes, I like my hometown because it's very peaceful and I've lived there all my life. So it feels comfortable, right? Because I grew up in a small city. Okay, so perfect. Yes, I like my hometown because I grew up in a small city and it's very peaceful, right? I've lived there all my life. So that we turned that band 6 answer to a band 7 answer. So this is what I do in my English speaking confidence club. If you are interested in improving your English, scoring a band 7 plus, comment IELTS and I will send you a message after today's live to help you get to a band 7. What's your schedule on TikTok? Jamila, I just started on TikTok, so I'm going to try to come on live at 10 a.m. every day on weekdays. And but I also do work. So in about 2 weeks, my schedule will be changing again. So for now, for the next 2 weeks, I will be doing 10 a.m. every day. 10 a.m. Toronto time. Perfect, Ashley. I'll send you a message after today's live. So, Ashley, yes, I like my hometown because I grew up in a small city and I find it to be very peaceful. For example, and you give an example. No worries, Ashley. Great work. You did all the work. I didn't do anything. Thank you, Anna. Hello, welcome. So please follow my page, like share this